So since we haven't had the elections yet, I'm going to call the meeting to order at 5:45. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
of the
United
States of
America
and
to
to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
with
indivisible,
and justice for all. Okay. And then we'll do roll call. I need to apologize. I have Ed Ward down, and it should be Amy Arsiwali.
Yeah.
Okay, so Agnes, no. Iris
Here.
Kislin, NBC,
Yeah.
Mayor Kramer, okay. Amy, Kevin,
Here.
Nick, and the director, January Adams, is here. So I'm going to read the Open Public Meetings Act statement. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, C 231, otherwise known as the Sunshine Law, the schedule and notification of this meeting has been provided to the Courier News, the Home News Tribune, and the Franklin Township Clerk. Copies have been posted in the library's vestibule and are also available at the reference desk. So now we are going to have the nomination and election of officers. Is there a nomination for president?
I'll nominate Nick.
I second.
Are there any other nominations for president? Okay, want to vote? Everybody who's in favor of Nick, raise their hand or say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Nick is the president, and at this point, I'll turn the meeting back over to him.
Thank you for your vote of confidence, and I'm glad to be president.
We're going to have to search your home for classified documents.
Here they are. Here they are. They're all right here. Really.
Yeah. If there's none, that'll be the only place where there's none.
I would like to open this meeting for any comments by members of the public. I see we have a couple of people here from the public. So the meeting is now open for the first part of the public portion. Anybody? Seeing no response from the public, I will close this first part of the public comment session and move on to the discussion of the minutes.
Nick, don't you need other officers?
I'm sorry. Yes, we certainly do. Thank you. Okay. Is there a nomination for the office of secretary? Yes, there is. I'd like to nominate Iris Kislin for secretary.
You don't need a second.
No, we don't need a second, but are there any other nominations? Iris, would you accept this nomination?
I do.
Okay, those in favor of electing Iris Kislin for secretary, please signify in some way. And I see that it's almost unanimous. Iris, why don't you vote for yourself? Okay, it's unanimous. Congratulations, Iris, and thank you for your many years of holding this particular office. The other office that we need is Vice President and Treasurer. Is there a nomination for Vice President and Treasurer?
Two separate offices.
Two separate offices held by one person.
Oh.
And I will nominate NBC for this office. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, those in favor of electing NBC to continue as Vice President and Treasurer signify in some way. I see almost unanimous. NBC, are you going to accept this office? Okay, it's unanimous.
Okay. Okay.
Can't vote for myself.
Sure you can. Yeah. Okay. Now we can go to the discussion of minutes. We've all gotten a copy. We've gotten a copy. The trustees have gotten a copy. Is there any? Is there a motion to accept these minutes?
I so move that we accept the minutes.
Iris and NBC has had its hand up, so I'll consider that a
No
second.
problem.
Okay. Those in favor? Is there any discussion of this motion to accept the minutes from the December 28th meeting? Seeing no discussion, I'll ask for a roll call vote. I mean, a hands vote. I see that the minutes are accepted unanimously. Thank you. This leads us to our director's reports. January, would you like to start
Sure,
with
I
the
can start
financial
with the
report?
financial reports. I really don't have anything to add to them unless somebody has a question or wants to add something. It's pretty much right on schedule.
Yes. Okay, then no questions on the financial report. And January, would you like to run us through some highlights of your
Sure.
operations report?
The Adult Services Department had 43 programs that 487 people came to. The Youth Services Department had 47 in-house and 2 virtual programs that 1,210 people enjoyed. And as I mentioned last month, the Winter Reading Challenge has started. And to date, we have 51 adults, and they've read for 22,771 minutes. 45 teens have signed up, and 64 children have read for 14,598 minutes. The other
That's
thing,
wonderful.
yes. And the other thing I wanted to add was, as we've been discussing on and off, I'd like to have a small reception for Iris to acknowledge the AV equipment that she gave. This really started out, it was going to be a family movie night, but I've been talking to Tiana, and the logistics are a little hard. And I thought it might be nice to have a small reception with the board, and maybe I could ask a few people from the youth center. So what I need from the board is what days and times are good for you, for me to set this up.
Okay, I think what we should first do is ask Iris what date would be good that she could invite her daughter and other people that are important to her, since this is in recognition of Iris's generous gift. Iris, would you like a weekend, a weeknight? What sounds good to you?
I have one daughter who lives in California, one daughter who lives here. So I'd like to check with them and see what, give me a week or so. Is that okay?
Yes. In the meantime, can the other board members, anticipating what Iris is going to say, can you tell me, are there any times when you absolutely cannot come? Let's do it that way.
I'm very flexible.
Yeah, me too. I can come. I'll make the time for Iris whenever she's there.
I just want to thank you all because I enjoy being part of this organization, and it was my way of saying thank you for allowing me to be part of you. So that's how this came
Thank
about.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Many people are going to enjoy it.
Yes.
January, obviously, during a council meeting, I couldn't be there. Were you planning to do it during the day or the evening?
I'd kind of like it during the day, but I think you work during the day except on Friday.
No, I'm now only work on Mondays.
Oh, you only work Monday, so you could come during the day, like
I come during the day. Thursday afternoons at 2, I do weddings.
Thursday. You do weddings, okay.
2 p.m.
PM, okay, and that's it. And then you work on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then I'll wait to hear from Iris, and then
Okay, so then I'll work on that.
Okay, good, thank you.
And January, this article that's you handed out this year, I'm thankful for the U.S. Public Libraries.
Yes, ma'am.
That really, I really enjoyed that.
Wasn't that nice?
Yes, very, very nice.
It was, and it was also a little disheartening to think that in the way that, you know, the day and time that we live in now, that it probably wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
It was I never even thought about anything like that, but that's amazing to think that it wouldn't be a such thing as a public library if we had to start it today. So
Right. Eye-opening.
Yes. Good article.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions to January on the operations report?
No.
Okay. As far as the president's report, I have very little to report other than to continue to say that progress is going very well on our Franklin Park building.
For the picture.
There's still windows to be delivered, hopefully by this week. And otherwise, it looks very good.
Yeah, it's really an attractive building, I think. If I do say so myself, I think it's very attractive.
Yes. Okay. Is there any correspondence or communication?
Well, just the article, and Iris kind of already talked about that.
Yes. Okay. Is there any old business?
I guess I'd like to talk about the roof a little bit, the gallery roof.
Yes.
I will tell you that, so I know Nick has an idea too, but I had a representative in from this company called Cowwall, which is why I gave you the brochure information. And I'm kind of leaning towards using that, but of course I need more information. I need about the load limit on the roof. It sounds almost like they can just put in that without doing too much reinforcing, but I'm not sure. And the other thing I want to do is go to some place that has one of these and see how hot it is, see if it really, really is okay with not letting the area get too hot. But like I say, so far, I think that's the thing that makes the most sense. And again, we're talking about $1 million. But if we get closer and if the board is interested, I would certainly have the representative come and talk to you about it.
I did look over the information you sent.
Yeah, I did.
Company. The only thing that question I have about that is that their panels of insulation, and well, their panels are 2.5 inches thick or 2.7 inches thick. We'll have to see whether I have a different idea, but we'll be able, once we get the data from the architect as to what kind of weight we can handle, we can compare them. And the one that January is talking about does let light in. The one that I'm talking about does not. So there's a big difference there.
And I am worried with Nick's about how dark it's going to be, but the other thing I learned when I was talking to the representative is that we can have, if we want, if you look at the roof and it's like this arch structure, we can have some of we could have maybe only the ones on the very top, the full light. The ones on the side could be more opaque. And I kind of like that idea a lot. And the other thing that the representative said that I would have to check out too is that the light we're getting with the Super Sky doesn't have true colors. It's not letting true colors in this wood. So those are all things to consider. And this is the structure that was originally designed for this building. And I talked about this before, and just in case you've forgotten, I'll remind you that when the project ran over budget, one of the ways to cut down on the cost was to substitute Super Sky for this, but the original design was for this. So that's my sales pitch on Cowell.
Okay. $1 million is installed.
Yes.
And what do we have in our capital budget left over after the branch is built?
More than a million.
Yes, you have the money to do it.
Okay, but how much do we have?
Pardon me?
Do you have no offhand? You may not. How much we have in that fund?
How much? Well, what the board did last month was they put 2 million in there. So there's 2 million.
Okay. I
You
was
got-
less. I missed
We
last.
have enough, yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you, January.
You're welcome.
Is there any other old business? Seeing none, is there any new business? Seeing no new business, I'd like to reopen the public comment portion of the meeting, the second portion. Is there anyone in the public who would like to make any comments? So I didn't even have to say that you'd be limited to 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, so I will not, seeing no public comments, I will close the part 2 of the public portion. Our next meeting is scheduled for February 22nd.
Okay.
Is there a motion to adjourn? NBC,
Yes.
and Kevin seconds the motion to adjourn. Any discussion about adjournment motion?
No.
Seeing none, all raise your hand or indicate if you're in favor of adjournment. I seem to see that everybody is. The meeting is adjourned.